If you're feeling weak or immobile right now, life can feel incredibly difficult. And while I don't have any magic fixes for you, I do have some advice in this video which might just help. So stick around because we're going to talk about exactly what to do to help you feel a bit stronger and a bit more mobile, especially if you're feeling really low. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow. I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And today we're going to be talking about what to do if you feel weak or if you feel immobile or if things are just not going very well for you physically and you want to get moving again. So I'm going to reveal the advice in just a moment, but just know that this is not going to be suitable for everyone. Please do get checked out by a professional before you start putting this stuff into action. And if my recommendations cause you any pain, then just avoid them. Anyway, let's have a look at some of my best advice for you in this situation right now. If you're truly struggling right now, the first thing I would say to you is don't expect any miracles to happen overnight. Now, you might find videos online promising you to do one or two particular exercises that are going to fix you. You might find someone saying, oh, with this one magic pill I took, it really helped, and now I can move freely with less pain. I'm afraid that kind of stuff just doesn't really work. It doesn't exist. There's no magic pill, no magic bullet that's going to fix you. But don't let that get you down, because it doesn't mean you can't improve. It just means it might take a little bit longer than you want it to. So accepting first that you're not going to find a miracle cure or a miracle fix is really, really important. The second thing you should do is to pick one thing to work on that will have a significant impact on your life. I've got some suggestions here to paint a picture of what I mean. So this is the sort of thing we're looking at. You could work on getting out of a chair without pain. You could work on walking to the end of your road and managing to get back without being crippled for a day. You could work on just being able to climb the stairs, either with or without the banister. And finally, you could work on carrying a bag of shopping without having to go and lie down for the rest of the day. These are just some examples, but they illustrate a picture of how small the goal can seem, but every single one of those things have been a goal that I've picked with a client of mine, or they've picked for themselves. We've worked on it, they've achieved it, and it's made a significant impact to their lives. So you might be thinking, well, I want to be pain-free. I want to be able to play my favorite sport again. I want to be able to walk all the way around 18 holes of the golf course. That might be too big a goal to start off with. Let's start off with something small. If the golf thing is your goal, just start off with, let's see if I can play one hole without using the golf buggy and do it without pain that affects me the next day. That could be a great first goal to start with, and taking bite-sized chunks out of a much bigger goal is often a great way to chunk that goal into smaller sections to make it more achievable. But if you're really struggling, you're housebound, you're chair-bound, there's not much you can do, then pick something small. Just getting up and out of the chair without using your hands or without pain in your knee over a period of 3 months, that could be a fantastic goal to start off with, and it should get you started on the route to achieving something much bigger. The third thing I would say is find some advice or a plan that you can trust to get you better. Now, you've picked your things that you're going to work on that will make a big difference to your life. You now just need a tactical plan to help you get there. And to be honest with you, most people aren't going to be able to devise this on their own. They're going to need to get some advice, either from a healthcare professional or a personal trainer, or someone who knows what they're doing, or some trusted online sources. Now, you might even use my videos on my YouTube channel. That's absolutely fine. But I would recommend that you at least get checked out to check that it's suitable for you to help you reach your goals. But the key here is you need to find something you can trust. Don't go down the route of looking for magic cures or snake oil salespeople or people who are going to promise you the world and deliver you nothing. It should be honest, it should be trustworthy, it should be professional advice that you can stick to for a long period of time and then make a commitment to following it. So you've picked your goal and you've picked a plan to help you get there. There's one factor that's going to determine whether you succeed or fail. That factor is consistency. Now, if you're not consistent, you're not going to achieve the goal, no matter how small it is. So right now we're starting off from a place where you're stiff, you're weak, you're immobile, you don't feel like you're very capable at the moment. And the only way you're going to make progress is by breaking the patterns you're in right now and working towards achieving that goal consistently. And if we don't do it day in and day out, we're going to fall back into our old patterns and habits, and no progress is going to be made. So if you've got an incredibly stiff knee, let's say, you're struggling to bend that knee at all and it's making you immobile and confined to a chair. Well, let's work on consistently trying to bend that knee just a few degrees over and over and over again every single day, slowly building up that mobility. And at first, it's going to feel like almost nothing is happening. But if you stick with it long enough, you're going to see that week on week, there's small improvements. But if you stop for a week because you feel like you're not making much progress, it's going to go back to where it was. The body wants to revert back to the status quo unless we tell it otherwise. So if we're not consistent, it's going to be very difficult to make progress, and consistent means doing something every day to work towards your goal. That's the only way to get out of the position you're in now. It's the only way I know how to help people get out of it, is to make it very clear that consistency is a prerequisite for achieving that goal. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about 3-Tip Friday. 3-Tip Friday is my weekly email that I send out to my list, and it features 3 of the most interesting things I've found that week. It could be a health tip, it could be a piece of research I'm reading, or it could be a new tool that I've found to be really useful for helping people get more mobile. It's totally free. I just send it out once a week. There's no annoying promos inside, and you can sign up for it by going down below this video and entering your email in the 3-Tip Friday link. The 5th and final piece of advice I've got for you is to look for 1% improvements. Yep, 1%, that's all we're looking for here. We're not looking for 10, 15, 20% jumps in the right direction. We're looking for tiny, incremental changes bringing you closer to your goal. If your goal is to get up and out of a chair without wincing in pain, look for that tiny little change that suggests you can just about shuffle to the edge of the chair with less pain, and take that as a win. That is going to be the kind of win that we're looking for in this process. We're not looking for suddenly being able to get up out of the chair with no problems. We're looking for tiny changes that suggest we're on the right track. And those small changes might not be linear. We might not find that we very gradually get better over time without any drops back into the wrong direction. Everyone who has a significant problem tends to find setbacks in the process of getting better. But if we keep looking for those 1% improvements, they will quickly compound and build up to 10%, 20%, 50% improvements over a long enough period of time. If you can look for a 1% improvement every single week, by the time you've done a year's worth of work, you should be 50% better, which is a huge difference and will make a massive difference to your mobility and your independence. It's definitely worth the effort. And besides, are you just going to accept the way you are now? If the answer is no and you want to do something about it, this is the route to take. So hopefully that's helpful. I appreciate that might not be the advice you were expecting today, and this is just for a subset of people who are really struggling and feel like they can't make progress with their health no matter what they do. Hopefully you've got something out of this video and it's been useful for you. So that's what to do if you feel weak or immobile. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, do drop a comment below and just let us know that we're somewhere near the mark, because your comments do make a difference. And if you found it helpful, do consider sharing it with a friend or a family member who might be in a similar position and who needs some help as well. Anyway, if you want to get more from me, the best way to do that is to grab a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's got loads of exercises and advice for people of all abilities, no matter where you are in your recovery exercise journey. This has got something for you, and you can find it on Amazon below this video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. I hope you feel better soon, and speak to you on the next one.